Good morning. It's Ginny, Eli, and Tim from DSTech, and we are sharing DSTech tips.
Yes.
DSTech tips, deep fake phishing. I almost said deep sea. We're not deep sea fishing, are we?
No.
No. Okay. But before we dive in, make sure you go to DSTech.net at the end of this video so that you can sign up for our newsletter and any free assessments that you want or any questions you have. If you have questions, drop them below this video so that we can answer them because we'd like to send you more DSTech tips.
Yeah.
So what do we got? We're deep sea fishing.
Yeah. Well, technically, deep fakes was kind of the topic, and then how.
So
it can
okay,
be used
if
for
it's
phishing.
not phishing with an F, it's definitely not what I'm thinking. What is a
Nope.
deep fake?
A deep fake, just to start with that portion of it, is where you're taking someone's likeness and you're using a computer to fake yourself being them. So, like, think of Halloween. You go and put a mask and you're a werewolf. Well, now imagine if you just put on the mask of a CEO of a company, and now you can pretend you using their voice, mannerisms, and even look like them with video now. It's gotten to that point where you can have a video of a known celebrity and it's completely fake and just completely AI generated CG in a sense, but it looks real.
Is it similar to, I found some on TikTok that it was like Sylvester Stallone and Morgan Freeman, but every video was like the same headshot, like using their voice to quote something.
It's very kind of primitive now. Most of it is a standard, like you're sitting there with the voice talking. It's hard for them if like you turned your head to all of a sudden have that be automatically generated and stuff. So a lot of the deep fakes now are just looking like a Zoom conference, I guess is the best way to make it look. But then, yeah, those are most likely just deep fakes where people are taking celebrities and making them say silly things that don't make sense or just like out of character stuff. And, you know, it's kind of
the
crazy
one I saw was an actual line from a movie.
Okay.
So it almost I was like, but the account was not Sylvester Stallone. I was like, okay, yeah. So I clicked on the account and I look at it, and every face shot was exactly the same. I'm like, oh, so it's one of those fakey things.
Yep.
Okay.
And so where this ties into security and your actual business is, yeah, it could be fun. People are making silly little TikTok videos and whatever else, you know, that's kind of harmless in that. But then what they're doing is they're using it as phishing, like the standard, I guess you'd say almost spear phishing, where you're towing a targeted campaign towards a certain organization or individual. It's not like you're just going to get a random email and it's going to be Sylvester Stallone asking you to send them, you know, Bitcoin. No one's going to fall for that, right? But if you had a deep fake where someone imitated your CEO or someone that was at your company that made decisions, and now they're instructing other staff members to make things that are not really correct, that's kind of where the deep fake phishing is starting to spur. Where, for example, with an audio deepfake, it only takes 11 seconds to basically make an exact clone of someone's voice, mannerisms, breaths even. There's one place called like 11 Labs is for that one. So you could take any internet video, even this video, for example, and you could take 11 seconds of me talking and have an exact replica of my voice with my breath and everything. And then if you take that, you could leave a fake voicemail instructing someone to do something that you normally should be doing.
So I feel like we
get a
should
voicemail
do that
from Tim,
right? I think we should make a fake Tim.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a deep fake. Maybe we'll have a whole episode that's just deep fake generated, if that's possible. I haven't looked into the tools to see how crazy that is, but you know, maybe it can be interesting as a test. But that's the scary thing is you may have like an accounts payable person who gets a voicemail from their CEO who's like, "Hey, I'm on vacation," you know, because maybe it's a legit. They waited till they were on vacation. I need some money transferred to this bank account in an emergency, and they give you something that's like, this makes no sense. Why would he be calling me for this? This is really weird. And so if you get some sort of weird voicemail or weird message, just double check and vet it like you normally would with phishing. You know, go directly to the source, double check, you know, with the CEO, whoever left the voicemail, like, hey, did you leave me that message? You know, is this what's going on? And you should have policies in place on how you do changes in your company. So if something is starting to act outside of that policy, like he never leaves me a voicemail telling me to do this. This is always in a ticket. Or I always get the request this way. This seems a little odd. That should be a red flag, and you should definitely don't just do the request. Verify it. You know, usually these requests will still have the same phishing things where it's like a sense of urgency, too good to be true. You know, if your boss calls you in a voicemail and says, "Hey, if you could do this for me real quick, I'll give you a 5% raise," it's probably fake. You know what I mean? You know, little weird things like that. Just kind of look for that and kind of just vet it is my best advice.
Yeah, when we talked about it, you know, we talked about because we have our ticketing system in place, right? And as a salesperson, we have activities that are assigned to us. That's how it works. It doesn't, the boss does not call and say, I mean, sometimes he does, but it just doesn't work that way. It's
right.
They follow the system.
You should have a procedure and the system in place with any company that you're operating and follow that process.
If they're not following process, then double check, right?
Yes, always double check if it's not following the standard process.
Where
you're seeing this phishing, as people will call in and they're trying to, pretend they're you and getting their phone changed to them, so then they can phish your two-factor accounts. So having a PIN on your account, so that way when someone calls to request changes, they have to give them the special PIN before they make changes to your account. Could be a security mechanism you put in place. Most cell carriers do that now anyway as a requirement.
They do, and I always forget my PIN.
Yeah, but that's fine, because then if it's a PIN you don't commonly use, a hacker can't guess it.
Right? So, I'm like, dude, I don't remember my PIN.
So having these extra checks in place before making a change it's always good. And so that's where you see it as high profile companies or people are getting phished with requests that are coming through. It sounds like a real voicemail from a legitimate person that you may be doing business with, but it's completely fake, and it's asking you to do something that's outside the bounds of your normal duties. So it seems odd, and then always check with that. The best way you can do to protect yourself from it is just to follow the processes your business has in place, and anything fishy, just report it and double check, do your due diligence. So
as a general rule of thumb, it seems like impersonating someone is a way of phishing, whether it's email, voicemail.
Pretty much,
right?
Yeah. That's exactly how it is. They put on the mask. They're trying to pretend there's someone else, whether it's the old style used to be just a fake email. Well, instead of Microsoft, it comes from Microsoft with a 0 instead of an O. That's the one difference in it. Little things like that. But now it's getting so advanced where now they're able to pretend they're actual people with faces. The audio, it's getting crazy, and it's only going to get crazier as we move forward with more technology. So making sure you have these processes in place and ways to screen for those changes is going to be more important than ever going forward. So
to be diligent, follow the processes, and look out for the warning signs.
Yep.
Which we talked about in the phishing email.
Yep.
One. So it's previous episode. You can look it up.
Yep. That's essentially what it is just you hear it in the news all the time, deep fake this, deep fake that, and most of it's just harmless, or people are making silly celebrity videos or whatever, and they're just adding weird audio dubs to it, and it's harmless. But then, of course, there's people that are going to take that technology and use it for bad purposes, and so that's what we're here for, to make you aware of it and then hopefully protect you.
Yeah. So make sure you tune in to Tech Tips, DS Tech Tips, every Thursday at 11 a.m., and you can drop your questions below this video and visit our website. Sign up for your free assessment or for our newsletter where I send more DS Tech tips. So make it a great day. Thanks for coming, Eli. Thanks for your knowledge. See you later.